One of the things that has really helped with my students and something that they've used to help each other with their own writing is the traits of writing rubric from Ruth Cullum's book. She has rubrics for each of the traits, and at the end of the organization chapter there's a rubric that the children can use because there's only 3 categories to sort of decide if the story has a logical order or not. So the children have those rubrics in their writing folders, and when they're sharing a story with each other, they can look and they can say, oh yes, you had an excellent ending there, or wow, that was a really, really brilliant beginning.
In our writer's workshop, we start the first 10 minutes with a mini lesson, which is either a trait lesson or a reminder of a trait that we're working on that day. And then I send them off to their desks where they work in their writing folders. And here's Jenna's writing folder. And it has the work they're working on one side. It has a list of ideas. It has an alphabet chart with sounds to help them figure out what sounds they need to put into their words. It has their family names in it. And then their finished work goes on the back.
One thing that I use to help the children get used to talking about the traits is this little poster hangs up in our sharing area. And when the children go to share their published pieces, they read their piece and then 3 friends make comments to them about their writing. And when they're giving their comments, I ask them to try to use the trait words instead of just saying, I like your book. Well, what did you like? And first graders are starting to say, oh, I really like how you organized your story. Or, you have such detailed illustrations, it adds to your presentation. And they're starting to really use the words because they're there as a reminder. The little pictures that are next to each word are symbols that the kids voted on to represent ideas. They voted for a shooting star. Organization, they came up with a crayon box because that is one thing they need to keep organized, and they really thought that would help them remember that. Conventions was a question mark because that had to deal with all the punctuation that goes along with it. And presentation is a published book, reminding them to write neatly and have colored, vivid pictures in their work.
The other thing that I have is I have a box of ideas that the children have generated, story starters, questions they can ask each other, different ways to end their story. If they're stuck, they go and they get an idea from the idea box. They take a card. This was one way I started this year, because so often we run into the idea of, I don't know what to write. I don't know how to finish my story. So because these ideas were generated by them, they're much more genuine and they're very happy to use those.
And that's a good idea because it gives them another place to go besides you as an adult. So.
Right.